When it comes to deck boxes for your Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and other standard-sized trading card games, there is a multitude of variety and styles to choose from. Many different companies make many different kinds of deck boxes, which is why this video will compare and contrast the Pro 100 Plus by Ultra Pro, the Garrison 100 from Card Guardian, the Geiger Box by Leifkicker, and the Supreme One row by Dex Protection. With so many products, some are better than others, sometimes by a lot. Let's take a look. Let's begin with the Ultra Pro PRO-100 Plus deck box with tray. Wow, that name is a mouthful. And as the name implies, the Pro-100 Plus holds over 100 standard-sized double-sleeved cards. Featuring Magic the Gathering artwork, the Pro-100 Plus unfortunately follows what is now Ultra Pro's standard design of a giant, and in this case really giant, flap covering the box, making access difficult and irritating. Now, the Pro 100 Plus does have a removable sliding tray for holding dice and counters, and this is both neat and convenient. And perhaps here the intent of the large cover flap is to help protect and secure this removable tray, which it certainly does well. But once again, since the flap is always trying to snap back into place, accessing the removable tray is just as awkward as accessing your deck. The construction of the accessory is far from ideal, as the interior of this box is prone to large gaps, which potentially could catch your cards and speaks to a general lack of craftsmanship for the Pro 100 Plus. And I'd like to point out that this box, which is currently on camera, is not one of the boxes I used for weeks of use and stress testing, but rather a brand new one which already had these gaps right from the start. I do not know why Ultra Pro can't go back to their original style of deck box. I feel that that would work really well here. As it stands, it's incredibly awkward to get your cards in and out. Accessing the tray is perhaps a little better just because you can get the lid to rest open, but nonetheless, this is not a design that caters to easy access and ease of use. As we've already seen in a previous review, Ultimate Guard offers a 100 Plus deck and tray that thankfully has a normal, reasonable, easy to access lid and a bottom flap to match, which does a great job of securing its own removable tray. It's also got better construction and design. There's no huge gap on the interior as there is on the Ultra Pro. Sure, you're not getting any Ultra Pro artwork, but that's gonna scratch off with time, whereas the dyed resin plastic of the Ultimate Guard will hold up better as the years go by. While the Ultimate Guard, as we reviewed before, is a B+, I am afraid the Ultra Pro is a C-. Difficult to access and poor design. My advice is to get an Ultimate Guard deck and tray instead. Card Guardian, makers of the Pantheon deck box, have a brand new option in laser-forged acrylic storage. The Garrison, which can hold 100 double-sleeved cards. Super strong construction of bonded acrylic. What I like most about the Garrison is twofold. First and foremost is the magnetic closure. Many of us have those simple acrylic boxes by Ultra Pro and BCW and Dragon Shield, but as you know, the two components just slide easily open. Yes, a good shake will cause the Garrison to slide open, but again, it needs that really strong shake in order for it to happen, compared to the magnetless basic acrylic boxes. This is still preferable. I really like the way this snaps shut with those magnets. The other thing I like about the Garrison is the grooved handholds on the base that allow you to grip your deck as you take it in and out of the box. Instead of relying on turning over your box and spilling your cards out into your hand, here you can get a firm grip on both sides. Just like with the Pantheon, this is a tough box. It's very thick acrylic, but unlike the Pantheon, Card Guardian has minimized and simplified their logo, thank you. And as before, they offer custom engraving for you to put your own logo or emblem. A fun customization, especially here for Commander players. Cost is very high on this item, but in terms of construction, materials, and overall craftsmanship, the grade is a solid B. Up next is the Supreme One Row by Dex Protection, the latest in premium storage for your cards. Constructed from actual plywood, not cardboard, and secured with 7 extra strength magnets, the Supreme One can hold 550 double-sleeved or 650 single-sleeved cards. What immediately came to my mind was the Ultimate Guard Archive. But unlike the Archive, the Supreme One was not made for storing deck boxes, nor could I find many, if any, that would actually fit. This is card storage first and foremost. And given its size, you can fit a small cube in here and, of course, a deck library. Out of the deck boxes, of course. I really do like that solid plywood construction, especially since this gets very heavy when loaded with cards. The thick felt interior is good cushioning, and the exterior polyurethane, while not the Saffiano that Dex Protection usually uses, is still tough and durable. Now, like I said, when fully loaded, this gets heavy. Don't expect those 7 magnets to do much. I'm impressed I get a few good shakes before it all comes spilling out, but I would not trust this to drop off my bookshelf like I would, say, a basic BCW storage box, which is about $1. Now, as recently as my last deck box review, I looked at a very similar item, the Archive by Ultimate Guard. And as I said there, I will say here, the use for this is going to be very, very specific. I don't feel that the average player is going to look at the Supreme One and say, I really want to spend $35 on this. It's fabulous craftsmanship and construction, as is most of the products from Dex Protection. However, many players are just going to find that for archival storage, a basic BCW storage box will do the trick. This is, however, going to be of interest to people who have a small cube, people who have perhaps a deck library or gauntlet of decks that they often access. It is really well made, but the average player likely will not see too much need for it. However, I will point out that in my review of the Archive, where I said more or less the exact same thing, the comments on that video overwhelmingly disagreed with me, with most players saying, no, Prof, what are you talking about? I really want to get a hold of one of those, so perhaps it is just I who am out of touch. No, it's all of you who must be out of touch. If this is a product that meets your needs, then sure, quality is there. But I feel strongly this is only going to be a select few of you. The grade is a solid B. Next up is the Geiger Box from Leifkicker, whose acrylic designs continue to inspire imagination and provide an artistic luxury means of storage. Inspired by the artist H.L. Geiger, the Geiger Box can hold slightly more than 100 double-sleeved cards, is available in a wide variety of color patterns, and can be purchased with or without interior flocking. The box is made from a polyurethane casting resin. Leifkicker has incorporated cold cast techniques using 325 mesh metal powders, special dyes, and acrylic paint into many of the designs. And as always, each box is finished with 3 coats of auto-grade clear protectorant. These are handcrafted boxes, so you're not going to find this exact box anywhere else. Each one is an expression of its owner's distinct style. For me, these these vibrant colors and handcrafted patterns are very reminiscent of the MTG world of Kaladesh, although perhaps the teeth on the base would be more at home on Innistrad. Either way, the Geiger has a magnetically secured lid, which is fabulous, and numerous grooved inserts on top and below for placing life score keeping dice. Leifkicker has really gotten those magnetic closures down well. I love the security and design and of course the artistry of the Geiger box. Now of course, any time that you are dealing with something more than just a product or accessory that is designed for protecting your collection, anytime you are dealing with something that is essentially a luxury item, an artistic item, a means of handcrafted expression for that collection, then you are going to be dealing with a high price. And so once again, it falls down to player needs. Are you someone who has a prized commander or legacy deck, that deck that defines you, that you invite people over to your house to sit down at the table and play against, and you want a talking piece, something that will go on your shelf and not just look like a basic storage container, but will look like a piece of your imagination come to life? Well, if that's you, then maybe the high price for the quality that you are getting is worth it. It won't be for everyone, but for many of us, this is the item that we have been looking for, or perhaps one of the many other designs by artists such as Leifkicker. Price, as always, is high for custom craftsmanship such as this. But remember, you are buying a deck box for life, a deck box that is a talking piece, a deck box that is meant to house your most precious deck. Amazing craftsmanship, stimulating artistry, the grade as always is a solid A. I hope very much this video has been of some help for you. You can help me out by remembering to like, share, subscribe, or just by leaving a message. If your local game store does not have many of the products that were reviewed in today's video, you can always check out our sponsor via the channel's affiliate link at www.cardkingdom.com/TCC. Most of my highest graded products are available in the Tolarian Community Student Store there. And this video has been brought to you in part by a sponsorship from Card Kingdom, as well as the Patreon support of viewers like you. So thank you.